Hey folks, welcome back. This time around I'm going to share with you a technique that I use that streamlines my workflow when it comes to drawing things in perspective. It's a reusable asset that I've used over and over again. I'm going to share with you what that asset is and how I employ it to create different types of perspective. So this particular example here I created right before recording this video. It's a simple one-point perspective, kind of like you're looking down on a cityscape, and this was a lot easier to do with using the reusable asset that I'm talking about. What is that reusable asset? It's basically a series of horizontal lines. I'm not going to go through how to make a bunch of horizontal lines, but I'll just show you the basic process. You just create the line, you make a copy of it by hitting Command J, and then you hit Command T, and then use your arrow key to move it down however you wish. And you can hold down Shift Option Command T and rinse and repeat. I've extended this all the way to the end of the canvas, so it basically goes from top to bottom. Once you have that in place, and I'll just quickly get things set up. Once you have that in place, give it a name. Call this horizontal lines or parallel lines, whatever you wish. Next, we're going to go up to Window, we're going to go to Libraries, and you can simply take this layer, select the thumbnail of the layer, drag it into the libraries, and you can see that it will actually go ahead and show up. And now I can always go back and reuse this. So I've already got my first set of horizontal lines here. Let's go ahead and right-click and choose Perspective, and we'll just drag the bottom right corner to the right. And then we'll exaggerate that perspective by dragging the top left corner inward. So we have something that looks like this. Next, what I'll do is I'll go back to the library. I'll drag those horizontal lines out. It will put this on its own layer. I can then rotate it. If I hold down the Shift key, it basically constrains the rotation to very, very specific angles. I want it to be completely vertical. I'll move this off to the left. I'll make a few extra copies of this by hitting Command J, and I'm just simply going to move this over like so. So I've got these lines as is. Now I can hit Command T, and then I can choose Perspective once again, and I'll pull these corners out. So what I've just done here is I've got these vanishing points that are extending all the way to the bottom, and I've got another set of vanishing points that extends all the way up to the top. So I've got like a two-point perspective, bird's eye view looking down. From there, I can just take these layers and merge them, and I'll just drop the opacity to about 40% so we can see things a little bit better. Now, I'll go ahead and use my plastic ruler here to go ahead and lay out some of the main lines. I'll just activate my brush tool. Got something like this. I can also extend it back. I want to exaggerate the perspective. I can just pick another line and connect it like so. A little bit too much pressure on that one. Let me just drop that a little bit. Okay, it's better than the other one. So I've got this building. Now, how do I draw the windows? I'll make a brand new layer for the window, and I'll just draw an upright window, not in perspective. And I'll zoom in so you can see this a little bit better. We'll just add a little bit of detail. We'll give it some trim. We'll add some kind of inside glass pane. And the idea is that I want to work smart and not hard. I don't want to have to draw these every single time. And then maybe we'll draw, I don't know, some type of a arch that goes on top. Something, right? So what I can do now is I can position this, I'll put it at the corner, this bottom corner is going to touch the window. I'll make a copy, Command J, and just move it to match the corner. And it looks like we might have just one more a little bit out, and that's okay because I can always offset the whole thing. So I've got my set of windows. I'll just merge these windows together by hitting Command E, move them into position. Now I'm going to make a few more copies of these windows. I'll hit Command J, move them down, and it's okay if they're not exactly going to fit in. We're going to fix that, and I'll just do it one more time. Something like this. Now I can take all of those layers and merge them together. So the windows are all on one layer, the building is on its own layer. So I can hit Command T, I can use right click and choose perspective. I'll grab the lower right hand corner, pull this in and scoot it down, whatever I need to do, and I've got basically a set of windows. Right? The nice thing about buildings, most of them are fairly symmetric with one another. And then from here you can add whatever details you want. Like if you want to add some kind of a trim, you can do that. If you wanted to add some brickwork. And what's very helpful here is you've got those grids that can help you with regards to positioning. So for example, I can just draw some bricks. I can follow these lines. And that just gives it a little bit of character. So those grids are a very, very helpful tool. So I just created this relatively quickly. So this is the first example I'm going to go ahead and group and hide the visibility on. Make a brand new layer. Let's go back to the library. We'll drag those horizontal lines out. I'll rotate them into a vertical orientation. I'll make a couple of copies, move them off to the left, move it off to the right. I don't think I need this now. Merge the layers together, Command T. And what I'll do is I'll first scale it down. And then I'll choose perspective. This time I'm going to drag the corner out like this. I'll bring in the left corner in. So now we've got like this 1 point perspective thing going on. I can also move that handle in. You can see how that gives it a little bit of a nice distortion, which is pretty cool. I think I'm going to run with that. It looks kind of interesting. I'll go back to my library, grab my horizontal lines, move them into position, use my Command T. And I can choose if I wanted to kind of match the top line. I can use skew, move this corner in, basically match the top edge and the left edge. So I can go for something that's a little bit less conventional. And then do the same thing, basically merge the layers. And what you can do is you can create your windows, and then you can use the skew tool to kind of orient them the way you need to do so. Or you can just keep it very, very simple and just use the vertical lines, whatever is going to make life easy for you. So these grids are incredibly powerful to use. I'll just do one more here where I'm going to drag the horizontal lines out, move it up. Use the perspective tool, drag it out like so. Drag another set of horizontal lines. Use perspective, grab the bottom corner. So I'm almost getting something that looks like I'm looking up. Could be this big floating structure, like a ship or something like that. And then for some of the other lines that I need, no problem. Grab those horizontal lines, rotate them as I need to. So you can use this not only for buildings, but you can use it for other big structures. And I'll just use perspective, pull those corners out, basically I can match the length of that. There we go. Merge the layers together. And now I've got this really nice blueprint. I can just go ahead and draw, for example, my lines for the top and bottom edges of this. And then if I wanted to follow the 2-point perspective that I've got up here. Now notice here I don't have a specific line that I can work from. It's not at the corner. It's not a problem. You just have to basically move your, make your angle in such a way that it's going to be similar. You know, you're going to follow basically that ray. All of these rays converge to the same vanishing point up at the top, which we don't see. So I'm just using my best judgment. It's okay if it doesn't look exactly perfect. Usually most people can't tell. I've seen so many examples where, you know, artists have cheated perspective in a good way, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to establish a location. They're not worried about all the little things. I mean, most people, when they read a comic book, they don't really examine every single detail. So I've got this structure here. If I wanted to add some, you know, like a checkerboard pattern, I can just use my paint bucket tool and just fill all these in. I'm more of a magic wand kind of guy, so I would probably just do something like this. I think some of those gaps aren't closed. So essentially now I've got this really cool structure that I can go ahead and do something with. So the key takeaway here is once you create those horizontal lines, save them into your library. You have an opportunity to reuse them over and over again. And I think it can help you save a lot of time and get you right into the flow of making whatever environment you want to. So that's the tip. Hopefully you found some value. If you did, consider giving it a thumbs up. Let me know what you want me to talk about next. I know that the environments are interesting for some, not for others, but I wanted to make these videos to show that environments aren't scary. They're actually very, very doable, especially when you have digital tools at your disposal. So thanks so much for watching. I hope everything's well with you, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya.